I just watched The Boys Season 5 and, to be quite frank with you, Season 4. This is a spoiler-free space. And people compare these shows. Listen here. Let's get down and dirty. Listen. Every single time, like, when I'm watching Invincible, I'm like, oh my gosh, Omni-Man comes on screen, and I'm like, oh, pause. Omni-Man appears on my screen, and I think, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Except that's it. For The Boys, I don't care if it's Soldier Boy, Homelander, Huey, Butcher, saying, oi, 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 diabolical. I don't care who it is, I am hyped. I'm like, get this guy on screen now. Do not get me wrong, when I was watching Season 4, Episode 5 of Invincible, I was loving it. One of the best episodes in the show. One of my favorite episodes I've watched in television, to be honest. Invincible has its peaks, but let me be clear, the same level of peak, what I felt there in the peak of Invincible Season 4, Episode 5, is what I felt like in just a regular run-of-the-mill episode of The Boys. Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna come off like, oh my god, Invincible's the worst show ever, blah, blah, blah. It is a good show. I enjoy watching that show. Every week I tune in and be like, yes, I can't wait to watch them Invincible, actually. But if you want to get down to the gutter, down and nerdy with these boys, and you compare episode 1 of season 4 of Invincible, episode 1 of season 5 of The Boys, and an equivalent comparison with episode 2 of both seasons, it isn't close. My enjoyment, the characters, the peak, the arcs, the development, the finishes. Like, I'm not gonna spoil anything, don't worry. But we got some major things going on in the first 2 episodes of The Boys. The first 2 episodes of Invincible, nothing nearly on the same level happened, right? And that's just how you can show. Now, yes, season 5 is the finale for The Boys, so they are starting to pay off all these arcs. Season 4 is still building them up. I do see that. I understand that fact. The Boys isn't afraid to do stuff. The Boys does it, and it does it with conviction. So often, Invincible feels like it's teetering. Oh, like, we'll kill off Rex, but 17 other characters listed here will kill off and bring back and bring back and kill off. And don't get me wrong, in The Boys brings back characters, and the Boys and characters supposedly seem to be dead, but they get brought back. But it fits so much more when it comes to The Boys. Why? Because the entire show is about propaganda. It's about manipulating the people. It makes sense that they'd say these people are dead, and now that they're a communist, and now they're a socialist, now they're a fascist, now they're a genocidal maniac, and now they're a terrorist. And like, it makes sense that he's dead, and now it's not, and they brought him back because that's the theme of the show: propaganda, misinformation. That is what it is. For Invincible, that's not the theme. It's not as excusable when we kill off characters. It just comes off as lazy writing. Listen, you can have your opinions, this, that, this, who, when, why, where. Oh, I enjoy Invincible more. Fine. Like, The Boys can be a little graphic. You can take it a little too far in ways. But if you look at me with a straight face and say, Tyler Alexander Battenbridge, Invincible is objectively a better show than The Boys, I will laugh you out of the room and kick you to Timbuktu, because that is such a invalid take. The only thing in this show that is comparable is world building. Not only that, the show The Boys is so much more immersive, because at the end of the day, simplistic animation can only get you so far. With The Boys, they have good CGI, the Homelander's laser vision, A-Train's speed, Starlight's blast. Just the aesthetic, the color correction of The Boys, it goes so much further than the simplistic animation of Invincible. As you can see by my hair, I did my hair just like Homelander, and I'm gonna be very truthful to you. This took like 25 minutes, and I'm still constantly applying gel. I have gel on standby, and somehow the makeup artists, they keep this going. Props to them both on and off the show. Like, a couple takes I've heard against The Boys, like, oh, why would you watch The Boys? Do you just enjoy the gore and the drama? Like, this is not realistic. Why are you watching The Boys? It's just a gore sesh. Like, nothing here. It's just, oh, if the world would... But then you realize, right? I'm not gonna drop names, but we've seen what the higher-ups are doing. What Homelander and what these evil people are doing is not that crazy compared to what the IRL higher-ups are already doing. So, I feel like when you say, oh, this is unrealistic, and they're just going crazy, and they're just glorifying it because you like to see glorified bad stuff. And I'm gonna say, true. it is over the top, and I'm not going to argue that. But the reason why it draws me in is not because I want to see over the top stuff. It's because it draws such parallels with real life. And I think, oh my gosh, like, of course they do that. You like to look up to these higher up people and go, oh, they're smarter than us. Oh, they're more responsible than us. Oh, they wouldn't do that. But this show, you go, oh my God, yeah, they would, because they're just like us. They are us. They're people just like us. And if there's sadistic, messed up people at the bottom of the chain, they're gonna be at the top of the chain as well. The only difference is they have more power and they do it. And The Boys, it exposes that. So yes, it's over the top. Yes, it's insane. But it serves a purpose. It's an eye-opener, this show. The Boys feels like so much more of a staple in the media, in the world, where Invincible, it just feels like another superhero TV show, right? When I turned on The Boys, dude, I woke up this morning, I was like, holy cow, I got 3 episodes to watch, Invincible, The Boys, and The Boys. And I watched Invincible first, and I was like, yeah, this is good. I'm enjoying myself. But then I turned that off, and I scrolled down too, and I saw The Boys Season 5. Oh my gosh, my pants got a little wet because I clicked play on that and the grin on my face, the immediate excitement, the adrenaline and dopamine response that clicked in and synergized with the pixels on that screen. And when I pressed play and started the first episode, my legs were shaking like a schoolgirl. I can find so many characters in Invincible, and it's just, they follow the trope. Like I've said this before, Mark, Debbie, Oliver. Debbie's apology scene was pretty good with Omni-Man. Don't get me wrong, they have very good points, but their overall development, their overall arcs feels very generic. We've seen the trope. Invincible pulls himself up by his bootstraps. He's destined for glorious purpose. He starts off as nothing. Just by sheer grit, he forces himself up there. Oliver, his whole shtick, oh, I want to be like my bigger brother. Now, credit where's credit's due, because I want to Steel Man both shows. Again, I don't want to spoil, but, and again, I haven't read the comics for either TV show. I'd like to say that immediately. But I'd like to say something right off the rip. In Season 4, Episode 6, they explored this new aspect of Oliver, and I really like that. But I think just that unique take of, oh my gosh, yeah, his parents were X, and naturally he would be different, which would lead to Y. And I love that. Just any unique take on characters, I love that. But I can point to, like, Debbie, and I can point to, like, Cecil, and I can point to Black Samson, the guy voiced by Mike Ehrmantraut. I don't even know. They're both your generic, do what I say, la 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 la. Cecil, he seems like a very, like, just a lot of these characters seem very generic. The Boys, another thing The Boys doesn't have a problem with. What power set in The Boys hasn't been explored? Like, there are so many varying abilities in The Boys, it's absurd. Now, you know what I will give you? Some of the power sets are needlessly explicit. I will give you that. Some of the times, like Gen V, where the guy's shooting out his butthole, okay, like, yeah, technically not every power is gonna be amazing, I get that, but that's a little wacky. So I will give you that. Sometimes it does feel like it's a little over the top just to be over the top, and again, that's a flaw. This show, The Boys, it is not perfect, but let's look at, no character in The Boys feels like an overused trope. Butcher is so unique with his accent. Yes, the first thing I said about Butcher was his accent. Invincible is needlessly good. It's good versus evil in Invincible. That's what it is. Either you're on the good side or you're on the evil side. That's what it feels like. Yes, Invincible is battling, am I good, am I evil? But at the end of the day, Invincible is a good person. Our main characters in The Boys, they aren't. It's evil versus evil. It shows that when there's a natural evil, something as bad as The Boys, realistically, an extreme opposite will have to battle that thing, right? Homelander, Butcher, they both are on opposite sides of the spectrum, right? But at the end of the day, they're both evil. The Viltrumite Empire, in theory, is so evil it should have naturally had an opposing power to be evil to fight it, but it's not. We have needlessly good people, right? And I understand that Invincible has this kind of drive, and Debbie inspired that good in him, and she's a great parent and everything, but it's just so much more realistic when you look at The Boys and you think, look at this, right? Look at this. You have a natural evil. What has to rise to counter it? Another natural evil. Like, and they're such opposite, but no matter what opposite side you're on the spectrum, whether that be Homelander or Butcher, they're going to come down to be evil. Huey better. I will give you credit, though. In Season 4, Huey was handled poorly. I will say that. This show, again, is not perfect. I don't want to come off as, oh, The Boys is perfect, but it is significantly better. Invincible. And listen, and you can have whatever strong opinion you want. If you want to go in the comments and say, oh my god, how could you just slander Invincible? You're just another Invincible LARPer. Listen, I'm not just LARPing on Invincible. It's a good show. But it should not be comparable, these two shows. Thank you. Have a great day. I love you all.